Welcome to Speak Free with Mattyg, the podcast that celebrates free speech, truth, and open discussion. Hello and welcome to Speak Free with Mattyg, episode 17. I think that's right. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, we've just been hit in the Hawkesbury with floods again. That stopped us filming for a couple of weeks there. I've moved away for work just during the week, so time management to get this up and running today has been a mission, but we got here. Today my guest is Sharna Noel, who is a professional sports trainer. You're a sports trainer for Penrith Panthers, so you're a head trainer for the Tarsha Gale side.
Yep.
And the newly appointed Harvey Norman's Women's Premiership trainer for St Mary's Saints.
Yes.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk a bit about that today, your journey in becoming a sports trainer, and sort of where that's come from. We'll talk a bit about your family and that, which I know. And then we'll go into also some bigger topics, I guess, in terms of female involvement in rugby league and the growth of that, and also being a woman in a male-dominated sport. What that's like for you. So let's go back to the start. When was your love for footy, I guess, and for sport? How did that come about? Where did that grow from?
I think the love for footy pretty much came from birth. You know, my dad, he's a coach, so I've grown up around football. My brother played football. Yeah. I never really got to play football. It wasn't a thing when I was little. But growing up watching it from my dad to my brother, travelling around Australia and whatnot with them. And then, yeah, just watching it, and a lot of my mates played as well. So just born and bred, basically. Yeah.
And so you've been involved, with club footy for forever. What age did you then decide, I want to do this. I want to be a trainer. I want to get involved, not just watch on the sidelines.
Yeah. So it was about, I think maybe 6 years ago now. The Gillaroos had a very, very good win, and it kind of just set the pace, I think, for a lot of women that wanted to be involved in it. They kind of got out there and said, well, we can play too, we can do this kind of thing. So I started getting all my credentials, so all of my courses. I started off as a yellow shirt over at Hawkesbury, spent a year doing that, working up to a blue, working up to the orange, and then I was lucky I got straight into Penrith, and I've been there pretty much ever since.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it seems to have all sort of come to a head since in the time I've known you,
Yeah, it's taken off.
Yeah, it's taken off, very quickly, which is good because it's been a long journey, and people sort of don't realise that have only known you for a couple of years. They think, oh, she's just like got to, put in the door and away she went. It was a long time, and you did a lot of it for nothing, and still do a lot of it for nothing.
A lot of it is still for nothing, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that's a huge, I think that's really missing in today's world is people want things yesterday without working for it for tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's sort of the same in a way when I was doing a lot of internships and that when I was at uni. For journalism, people think why the fuck are you working for free? Which I don't agree with. I don't on a basic level. I don't actually agree with people working for free. But if you love it that much, and that's the steps you got to take, then do not let anyone put you down for that. You know what I mean? And if that's puts you in a better position later in life, then fucking do it. Yeah. And so that's sort of where I see sort of your journey as well in terms of that is that you may be doing a lot of it for nothing, but you love it that much, then who gives a fuck about money?
Yeah. I do love it. I live for it. Between the three sides that I do, I'm pushing 50, 55-hour weeks for free. That's including the travel, all the reports and stuff like that I do when I get home, all the phone calls, all the emails across the board. I'm pushing quite a few hours for free.
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time.
Like you were saying, when you love it, you don't mind. And then I have that theory in my head that one day I'm going to make it, and all of this is just part of the process. So
exactly, and you've put yourself in a really good position, at Penrith. I'm not a Penrith fan, by the way, so this isn't.
I am.
This isn't bias coming from me, but they have such a great system in place.
Oh yeah.
Not just for players, but for their staff as well. It seems. And I didn't really know that until we really broke it down one day. I remember talking to you about it. I was like, fuck, that's really like fucking, like all the steps are there, you know, for you to sort of follow, and you're meeting the right people, and you're meeting the people that are going to put you in the right positions and support you. So talk about, so when did you first start at Penrith? Like what year? It was 2020? Was it?
No, 2018.
2018.
And so with rep seasons, our pre-season starts October. So my first season started in 2018. That's 4 years, isn't it?
At the end of the year.
Yeah, at the end of the season. And we have our trials like coming up into December.
That's right.
And then our season
2019, didn't I?
Yeah.
And you had just finished your first.
I just finished my first season. Yeah.
That's right. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
God, time flies, man.
When you're having fun.
Yeah. I feel like those 3 years at the Hawks was just fucking blind the whole 3 years.
That was interesting.
Every Sunday at the pub.
And Thursday, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Thursday
and Sunday.
Fucking, how did I afford it? That's what I want to know. I can hardly afford fuel now. Can anyone?
No.
I don't know.
I can't.
But obviously, so your first position there at Penrith, what was that? What was your position?
It was a yellow shirt for Andrew Johns.
Andrew Johns, and that was age. What age is Andrew Johns?
Oh, 15?
15.
Yeah.
It's like a development squad.
Yeah, they're a development squad. So started off yellow there. The next season I was orange for Laurie Daly, which is the year up. Now Andrew Johns and Laurie Daly are country rugby league.
Yeah.
And then you move into the semi-professional, which is your Harold Matts, your SG Ball, Tasha Gale, Flag Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did them too. And then I spent the next year sideline with Harold Matts and SG Ball, working really closely with the physios, which was a great experience because I learnt a lot.
Yeah.
And it was good too because I got to be with the two sides. I got to learn a lot for different ages as well. And obviously it's a different level of competition as well, so there was difference there, and it was a really, really good experience, and I really enjoyed that. But I was cheering when I got to get back on the field this season.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I bet you would, because a lot of that, I remember coming to a couple of games. I think it was for that. Was it?
Yeah, it was the Windsor game.
Yeah. You were doing so much work, but it was all on the sideline. You know, it was
all on the sideline.
You'd come up and say hello, and then you'd be like, "Fuck, guys, I gotta go. Like, I gotta run into the sheds, and like, I gotta run to the sideline." And but no, it was it's so cool. It's very, very cool that you're involved. And in terms of other women at Penrith, is there a lot of other women involved at Penrith?
Yeah, it's definitely picking up. You know, there's bits and bobs over there. Girls are in amongst everything. The nutritionists, and we've now got a couple more trainers. So there was a while there where I was the only female trainer in the whole club. But it's definitely picking up now that we were able to get Tasha Gale back as well. So we've got an assistant coach that's a female. We've got a yellow shirt that's a female as well. And then there's me and the manager as well. So, with Tasha Gale come back, we've been able to pick up the female inclusion kind of thing with positions and stuff. But, I mean, obviously it's a very male-dominated industry, so it's always going to be dominated by males. We just have to try and build up our side of the competition and show that, we've got the right stuff too.
Yeah. And in terms of, you've got your WNRL or NRLW. WNRL.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fucking, they're all different. I'm like,
you can say it either way.
Come after or before? I don't fucking know. But anyway, that's picked up. They've got a couple extra teams now. They're playing. I'm going to watch a game tomorrow, actually. There's 2 games, actually, tomorrow at the... sorry, we're filming this on a Saturday, guys. So when I say tomorrow, I mean Sunday. I'm going up to Newey to watch the fucking Tigers, baby. Yeah, let's go. But there's a couple of women's games there, so I'm really keen to check them out. I just saw the women's play at the Indigenous versus Māori All-Stars as well.
Yep.
Very entertaining game. Footy.
We're getting there. Yep.
And it seems like a lot more people are... I mean, I know this sounds kind of a bit shit, but more people are giving a shit now.
And you know what? There's no nicer way to put it. More people are giving a shit now.
Yeah. And it's really good to see, I remember hearing a lot of comments when it sort of first started. It was like, oh, let's watch this fucking shit, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, fuck, bro, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you're on the sideline eating a hot dog and drinking a beer. Like, these fucking women are killing it. And I find it, super entertaining. It seems like the NRL is, as a entity, is really stepping up as well.
Yep, absolutely.
And sort of seeing their worth a lot more now too, in terms of bringing in more teams. Like, I thought the 4-week, 4-team competition was a bit shit, to be honest.
You got to start somewhere, right?
You do have to start somewhere. I do agree. You have to start somewhere. I just thought it was a bit like, I just thought the women deserved more than that.
Yeah.
I thought they deserved more.
Yeah.
Thought it should have been at least an 8-week competition then. If there's only 4 teams, fucking play each other 3 times. Who cares? Like, or however long, you know? But
I think it was a bit of a trial and error for that first year as well. And then obviously you've seen the new announcements where next year it's going to be more teams and the year after that it's going to be more teams. So
yeah. And most of the clubs really fucking want that.
Yep.
They have these women's sides in different competitions and they really want to get up to that elite level. And I mean, do you think there's enough women playing right now that there could be a really strong competition with
100%.
teams?
Yeah, 100%. You know, if you take the time to, you know, check out the Harvey Norman side, check out the Tasha Gale side, check out every other club level, it's a bit of a struggle for some clubs this year because of COVID, but that's not just the girls' sides, it's the boys' sides as well.
Yeah.
But the women's, the girls, they're coming through and they're looking up to these girls playing on the TV now. I never had that. I never watched anything like that ever.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's girls that are just a couple of years younger than me. They're exactly the same. We didn't have that. But now we've got it on the TV. There's little 5-year-olds going, Mummy, I want to go play footy like her.
Yeah.
So it's there. It's building. And I think, especially with the Harvey Norman and the Tasha Gale now coming back strong too, I think you've definitely got that pathway in it. And I think the smartest thing to go about it for all clubs, like all first grade clubs, they need to bring that pathway in, just like they've got with Mats and Ball and Flag and Cup.
Yeah.
If you do that for the girls, obviously it might not be as much, but if you get your Tasha Gale, your Harvey Norman, and then your WNRL, you've got a pathway just like they've got pathway up to first grade. And I think that's what we definitely need, and then that's going to encourage more girls over here to keep playing and to sit back and go, I can have a big dream, and this is the way I can get there.
Yeah, for sure. And do you think, like, I get how money works, and you know it comes in with sponsorships and that, and I know there's not obviously as much money in women's rugby league at the moment as there is in men's. That's just a fact. It's not a sexist thing. It's just the fucking way the world works, right?
I'm the biggest feminist out, and I agree with you. Yeah, it's how it is.
Yeah, it's men bring in more money in NRL at the moment because that is how it's always been. Like that is just how it is, right? It's a men's game. I'm not saying it will change. Who knows if that'll change? But it's getting better for women. But do you think that because of that lack of money in terms of when compared to men, that they can't go and train 5 times a week?
100%. I mean,
you know, it's a catch-22.
It is,
in a way, because it's you want them to be at that elite level as men, but you don't have the resources to allow them to be at that elite level yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you get there? And I suppose it just has to come slowly, right?
Yeah, I think it's
in
just
saying that, though,
building up.
Let's not forget that men, you know, in the 70s and 80s all had jobs as well.
Yeah.
And played on the weekend, you know. They're all trading.
And we're smoking and everything.
And yeah, exactly. Like fucking Tony Rodriguez, mate. He was a tradie during the week and then
absolute legend.
Played, you know, so you know, it's a slow thing. It's a slow burner. But I think it will get to that point where women do become, you know,
100%.
You know, that they can do it full time.
Yeah, and I think
full time income.
Yeah, and I think now that we are getting a lot more recognition of it now as well. I mean, you hear Gus talking, you hear people on the Footy Show and stuff like that talking.
Especially having people like Alana Ferguson in the commentary.
Alana Ferguson, she's amazing.
The nicest, literally. Me and Brody went to a fan fest one day.
Oh no!
During the grand final week, where they did it in Martin Place, and it was a great event. I met all the Tigers players and that, and Roosters were coming that day too. So we both went. We're like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Of course, he did.
And Alana Ferguson was there doing like bits and pieces, commentary and stuff there. And man, we got talking to her. We talked to her for literally like half an hour. Mm-hmm. And she's the nicest fucking person I've ever met.
She's like, such a Cronulla chick too. Like she's like me with Penrith. She's like me with Penrith. Like she's up Cronulla, and I'm like the Riff. So like if you get her talking about Sharks and about footy and stuff like that, she will be there all day, just like I will be there all day.
Yes, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's what it's like for a lot of us girls that we're in it. Like we're blood, sweat, and tears. We are in it. We've got a lot to prove.
Yeah.
So we're in it.
Exactly. That's what excites me, I think, about the women's too, is that every woman on the field wants to fucking be there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
they want to be there. Whereas you get some men who are in their later stages of their career and stuff like that, and you can tell, like, they don't give a fuck. They're just collecting a check.
Yeah.
You know, not all of them, but a few of them that are in their later stages of career that signed a 1-year contract just to play on and get that extra money. You can see it in them. And whereas the women, I don't know, I just find it exciting to watch. I find it really exciting to watch.
It's really exciting to watch.
Keen to watch a couple of matches tomorrow, to be honest. I'm very
And I think,
excited.
like, you know, like we were talking about before, when that opportunity comes where the girls' sole focus can be on football, we are going to give you the exact same game as what the NRL are giving you, 100%. These girls are mums. These girls are still working full-time. They're training maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Those boys are training pretty much every single day except for their rest days. You know what I mean? Like, these girls are part-time athletes but performing at a professional level.
Yeah.
So I think if you give them that opportunity where they're able to have that as their sole income, the skill and the game that you are going to see is
it'll grow.
It's just going to be so... It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. 100%. Like, if you give them the resources that they need to be at that elite level, then they will be at that elite level. Like, it's just, we'll talk a bit more about you, since it is a podcast on Miss Sharna Noel here. We'll talk about your uni, that you got into uni, that you went back to school and you wanted to, let's talk a bit about that. What are you studying?
Exercise and sports science.
So that'll obviously help your career in terms of coaching. That's what.
Yeah.
For.
Yeah.
Penrith are pretty supportive of.
Oh yeah, Penrith are great.
Yeah.
I do all my work experience through them. I'm doing my strength and conditioning qualification as well. So Penrith are really good. I do all my experience with them. I learn everything off them. Like, I'm super lucky. I'm working with the best of the best over there. So
now for a little disclaimer. Me and Sharna have had a lot of fun nights out. A lot. When she told me she was going back to uni, I thought, fuck. I don't know how she's going to go. You have killed it.
Thanks.
You have killed it. No, literally.
I've tried.
And I really mean that. You have absolutely blew me away with how well you've done.
Thanks. I'm not finished yet, so...
No, you're not finished yet, but...
Let's see how we go.
Hey, P's get degrees, don't you?
That's literally how I live my life.
Yeah, but what do you got a few HDs and that in there?
I did, yeah.
You're killing it. How does, I guess, the vibe around, say, Penrith differentiate from club footy for you?
Professionalism. It's definitely a lot more professional over there. Look...
Is it just fun?
It's fun, absolutely. I have a great time. I think with club, our Hawkies, we all just became this big, close-knit family kind of thing, and I think all professionalism pretty much left all of us. And it's just about having fun and enjoying each other's company and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've obviously left the Hawks now. I'm not there anymore.
Same.
But yeah, we're not there anymore. But
I think I'll go and support it. Now that I've got no weekend work, I think I'll go check him out on the weekend.
I thought I might pop in tomorrow on the way to my Shield game. But
oh, really? It's up at...
Yeah, I think it's Londonderry or something.
No, it's up at...
Got moved.
Up the mountains, isn't it?
Got moved.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
What time's it?
I want to say 1 o'clock. No, that's what time I've got to be there. At Leichhardt. Yeah, I'm at Leichhardt tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Leichhardt Oval?
Yeah.
Okay, no, fuck the Tigers. I'll be at Newey anyway.
I don't know. Anyway, so, I mean, the big difference is definitely professionalism. I mean, how I acted with all you guys and drinking my body weight and things like that. That does not happen over there at all.
Oh, God. I actually really, you know what? I fucking miss Sundays at
I
the
miss Thursdays.
I didn't get that fucked up on a Thursday.
I did, because I had nothing on a Friday. I had no uni, and I came home. Remember, I'd come home on the Thursday. So I was like...
You'd be like, wet pussy shots. I'd be like, fuck. I remember you got your freaking settlement money. I thought, fucking... we're going through the ringer here.
We did. That was a really fun month. Don't act like you didn't have fun.
I definitely had fun. I had a lot of fun.
I think half of the team had fun.
Yeah, you were
Shouting.
like Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, you
get a wet
drink.
pussy shot. You get a wet pussy shot.
Say drink.
Everyone gets a wet pussy shot. Oh God, it was good time.
Good times.
So let's talk a little bit about sort of being a female in a male-dominated sport, what that's like. What's the vibe like there? Obviously, you love it, so it's obviously good. But in terms of the whole sort of NRL as a whole, and everywhere you've been, what are some experiences you've faced that you either wish didn't happen or that you have seen improvement on from that experience now?
Okay. I mean, I can't complain at Penrith. They've always been very welcoming, very protective. Same with brothers for my Sydney Shield side. Very welcoming, very protective. Penrith especially, like, I can't even put it into words how lucky I feel getting that position, like, so quickly, because once you're in, you're in. So, you know, working with Sammy and Hoppo and all the coaches I've been able to over the years, all the physios and stuff, like, I can honestly sit here and say I've never had a problem at Penrith, which is, I mean, awesome. I'm there 90% of my life.
Imagine if you're a Panthers fan, you went there and they're fucking assholes. That would suck.
So yeah, I can't fault that club at all. Obviously, it's the same for anyone, not just females though. When a first grade player finishes up and they want to continue on, they get popped into a nice top spot pretty quickly if they've got the skill set and whatnot. But yeah, I'm always going to be battling ex-players and coaches' sons and players' brothers and stuff like that. But it's just how it is. It's that area basically. So, and I mean, it's not just me personally at Penrith. It's across the board. You know, the boys, some of the boy coaches, they've got the exact same situation. We're all battling for a top dog spot. And then for people behind the scenes, i.e., coaches, trainers, and managers, there's even less positions that you can get yourself into. So you just got to continue to battle. It is hard, and it can be a little bit disheartening, I suppose you could say as well, because you kind of sit back and, you know, I see all of these trainers who are ex-players, and I see all these trainers who have been a trainer for 10, 15 years and stuff like that, and I'm sitting back here down on this level, but they're on this level and I want to get up here. Like, they're closer, obviously, so it can be disheartening, but you just gotta kick on.
In terms of, I guess, even your club footy experience, have you ever experienced sexism from other people, either other trainers, other coaches from opposing teams, crowd, people in the crowd, parents watching the game?
Yeah.
What are some things that people have said to you, or
Yeah, well, I mean, even at your semi-pro level, like with Penrith and stuff like that, I've heard people yell out from the crowd before, like, saying things because I'm a girl and because I'm obviously quite tiny as well. At club level...
And my parents actually thought you were Dave's, like, 6-year-old daughter.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not. I'm a real girl. I think the most problems I have come across is at a club level, unfortunately. Whether it is from, you know, my own players in the past not actually listening to me because I do know what I'm talking about sometimes. Other players, other coaches, other trainers, you know how we always go over to shake hands and stuff like that. They'll walk straight past me and ignore me, but I'll be the first person they'll call upon if they need help because I'm higher than them. I've had one guy try and trip me on the field, like deliberately stepped out of his way to try and trip me. Get things called out. Like, yeah, you do cop it, but I don't know. I'm one of those people, as it is, where everything just goes over my head anyway, so I just try not to let it bother me.
Yeah. I think the worst place for, I guess, for women in a higher positions within the rugby league community, say people like Belinda Sharp and, you know, these referees that are making their way up there now, and even female players now. I think the biggest thing they deal with is social media. And these middle-aged men on social media who write fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And I'm all for freedom of speech and whatnot, but some of them just, they wouldn't say it in person, so they need to be smacked in the mouth a few more times in real life. That's what I think.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. If we weren't on a podcast right now, I'd really say a lot.
I think I would say a lot more too if I wasn't on a podcast and in my gear.
I mean, it is speak free. You can say whatever you want.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you're in your Penrith gear. Yeah, true. We don't need to get sacked already.
No, thank you.
But do you think you would be prepared to deal with, say, if you, say later on down the track, you reach those heights of, you know, either coaching or working, you know, as a trainer for Panthers themselves, you know, for the first grade side and whatever it may be, in whatever position you are in, down, you know, in the future. Do you think you would be prepared to deal with these, you know, there is just a ocean of people out there who are fucking assholes online.
Oh, yeah. I mean, with footy, I kind of live by this saying, like, whatever it takes. Is from the Imagine Dragons song, and I listen to it pretty much every day on the way to training. I just think whatever it takes for me to get there and to stay there, to hold it and to be successful in it. So whether that is, you know, being broke for 4 years while I go to uni and doing 55 plus hours a week for free and driving here, there and everywhere and just saying yes to any opportunity that pops up and just dealing with what people have got to say either to my face on social media or behind my back. I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, this is my dream, this is what I want, this is my goal, and I'm going to go for it. You can either clap me, cheer me, or you can just move out of the way and do your own thing. Yeah.
And I guess the only reason I asked that question is because I've seen a lot of people write things on not only about women but of men in sport too that have really affected them. We've seen it so much throughout. You know, we've seen Latrell Mitchell come out about it, Josh Adokar, especially these Indigenous players. You know, but then we've seen people like Darius Boyd who've gone into rehab and dealing with mental health and things like that. Ben Hunt had to delete socials. Luke Brooks has deleted socials. Like, a lot of people have taken those measures. So that's the reason I asked that question. Yeah. But great answer. Yeah. Fuck it.
I mean, look, it doesn't matter what you do. If you are somebody, if you are successful 100%. At something, you're going to get hate. You're going to get haters. The unfortunate thing about social media is that it's so easily accessible now.
And I think another thing with social media is people are so quick to jump on a bandwagon, whether they don't actually think it at all. On a totally unrelated topic here. I was up quite late the other night, had a couple drinks and a few other, anyway. But I got on Facebook and I thought, fucking these people. So I started writing back to these people who were commenting about Rebel Wilson.
What are they saying about Rebel Wilson?
So she hosted the BAFTAs, right?
I love her.
Britain, and she said a joke about Will Smith. Saying about his latest role or something, and said, I thought his best role was this year was him pretending to not care about his wife's multiple boyfriends. Oh my God. And all these people were writing, she's not even funny, she's a dumb fucking, all this horrible stuff. Right? I mean, comment after comment after comment after comment after comment. And all I was thinking was, these people probably don't even think this. They've just stumbled upon this post. They've read what everyone else is reading and they've gone, yeah, you know what? Fuck Rebel, you know? Everyone else is saying it, so I'm going to say it too. Yeah. And it's like, if you actually just take a chill pill, step back and fucking think, what has Rebel Wilson done to me?
Anything to me.
Fucking nothing. Absolutely nothing, right? And I feel like it's the same with sport or like whoever it is. If you're you know, a well-known person, and one person writes something, everyone else is going to start writing it and back them up and that because social media is just a fucking cesspool of
sheep.
Fucking sheep, yes, literally, that just follow the herd. And I think that's where sometimes they can become overwhelming for people is if they start reading those comments and they realise fucking Timmy and fucking Georgia and fucking Sarah all think the fucking same thing. It's like they don't actually, don't actually think that. Like they don't have a brain. They don't, you know, and so I think.
And they'll probably say it that one time and then never think about it ever again. Never think about it ever
again. Yeah, they'll go on about their day. They've got a bit of anger out that they're, you know, pointing towards someone, which really it's anger from something else. Yeah. So I think social media is. It's cool to hear your view on that because I think a lot of the time, a lot of people will say that but not really think it. Once it starts hitting them, they are affected by it.
Yeah, and look, there's a lot of players out there who have copped a lot. I mean, I won't ever be in the spotlight as much as these people, and I'm also not on the field, and people aren't betting on me and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't think I'd ever cop it as hard as what the players get. But the second anyone is successful at anything, all these other little critters are going to come out and try and bring you down. So... Yeah. If they really want to waste their time,
especially in something like sport, which is such a competitive environment anyway.
Yeah, it's really competitive.
It's usually it's team versus team. So you're obviously you're gonna fucking put shit on another team. And yeah. So, but moving on from that, moving on from all those trolls and whatnot on social media.
That's what they're called. I've been trying to sit here thinking what are they called.
Yeah, but some people people who are called trolls, they're not even really trolling. They're just fucking arseholes. Like,
yeah, just say it as it is. They're being arseholes.
Yeah, being arseholes, and they wouldn't say it in person.
Yeah.
But in terms of rugby league as a whole, women's involvement, it's grown fucking exponentially in the last, I'd say, 10 years, especially. And then even more in the last 5 years, it's really fucking taken off.
Last 5 years has definitely been huge.
Yeah. What do you think, what impact has that sort of had on young women like you, sort of everyone else that's involved with the game, either as a fan, as a player, as a trainer, as whatever it may be, as a female?
As a female, from a trainer's perspective, I think the more involvement I see from, the younger ages all the way up, it gives me a lot more hope that this is going to be something that's going to be around for a really, really long time. Like, this isn't just a movement. This is where we're putting in that path for these girls, these women to have a career here, and then for female trainers to come through and female coaches to come through and things like that. So I think the skyrocket of the involvement, I guess, over the last 5 years, while it seems like it's boom come out of nowhere, sometimes I've got to sit back and go, it wasn't really that quick. It's been pretty slow, but at the same time, it's definitely a lot further than what we have been. But I think the biggest thing for me is it gives me hope that I'm not wasting my time. I can do this, and I can do this because it's right there. Yeah. It's there now. And then you've got 5-year-old little girls who go, oh, I can do that because they're on the TV doing that, or they're seeing more teams down at their local club, and just things like that. With this kind of skyrocket and everything like that, if it continues to build, it's going to continue to build on top of that even more, and then it's going to open up more opportunities. We've already got the State of Origin, that's fantastic. We've obviously got the All-Stars. We've still got the Jillaroos and stuff like that, but this WNRL, that's going to grow. That's more people coming through. That's more coaches. That's more trainers. Everything. We're building more jobs. So we just got to... This isn't it. We've got more to go.
Yeah. There's a lot of parents out there who don't even want their sons playing footy, let alone their daughters. What would you say to them?
I understand it can be scary. You see these people taking off each other's heads. But your kids are in really good care. They're learning from very well qualified coaches. They're going to have that training staff there. They've got a medical, and let me tell you, the courses that I have to do, the education I have to be under, and everything like that, your kids are taken care of. They're going to be taught the correct technique, and then if worst case scenario happens, you've got people all around you right there for you to take care of that child to the best of their ability. We're trained in spinal, I'm trained in oxygen tanks and CPR and concussions and things like that. And I could honestly say there isn't a single orange shirt, which is your medical, there isn't a single orange shirt out there that is ever dodgy about any of it, because it is so important. I'm pretty thorough at my job, and I'm very, very particular. They call me a control freak because I'm so by the book, but every single orange shirt will be like that, because it's not just a game, but it is just a game. We're taking care of somebody's son, someone's brother, someone's boyfriend, someone's husband, or someone's wife, mum, etc., etc. You know what I mean? Like, we're taking care of people's family members, their loved ones, their hearts. So, and I take that really, really serious. You know what I mean? And I want these people to have a life outside of football and after football. I don't want them to have prolonged effects. And that's why sports science is so, so important. And all the medical research is so important, and all of our education is so important, because it's always going to keep us up to date to help stop, prevent, or take care of any nasty situation that can happen out there. So I get you scared, but let them have a crack. They're in good hands.
Yeah. And I'll say Sharna has a fucking backbone and a half when it comes to protecting players, because I've seen her fight with her fucking father a few times. Her dad going, "Get him back out there, Sharna," and she's going, "He's fucking concussed."
Literally.
He can't get back out there. He can't even say the alphabet backwards. And I'm like, I can't do that. Fucking not concussed. What is it? The date. The months.
The months of the year.
Say the months of the year backwards.
I can't.
December, November, October, September, August,
July, June, May, April, March, June, February, January.
See, I fucked it.
But the thing is, we do baselines. So we do baselines, right? So before every season, every single player from grade all the way down, they get baselines. So it's okay if you can't really do it, because then the baselines are compared to that in their HIA.
Okay. Yeah.
So if they meet the same requirement, then you're good to go. But if you come in and you've been able to say all 12, and then you come in going December, November, and then that's it, then they go, it's concerning. So it's okay if you can't. It doesn't mean you're always permanently concussed.
Yeah. Although some people, I think they may be.
Some people.
But no, that's fucking funny. So in terms of, I guess, I feel like I say the word "in terms of" on this show a lot, a bit too much. But where do you see women's rugby league, say, in 2 years from now, or 5 years from now? Where do you think where can it reach? What are the heights?
5 years. I think in 5 years we will see a competition as big as the NRL. I think we will have a lot of teams involved. I think, but in that 5 year time, we'll be able to get that revenue, so these women can now be full-time athletes rather than part-time athletes, full-time everything else. So I think over the next 5 years, I think we're definitely going to come in pretty close to the same competition level as the boys, not just for players, but coaches, trainers, all of that. I think it's coming, definitely. We're always going to be a bit behind, because the NRL has got how many years on top of the WNRL? But yeah, we're building. And I think, I honestly do think in 5 years' time, we're going to be stepping up with pretty close to the NRL, I think,
And I guess a good thing they've done for, I think, State of Origin especially, is they've made it a standalone game, rather than a curtain raiser for the boys during game 2 or game 3, whatever it may be, which I think is super important, that it gets its own event and it gets its own televised event. That's fucking, I think that's the best thing they actually ever did in terms of women's rugby league, in terms of actually getting involved in the growth.
And Women's Origin is amazing.
Fucking awesome. We watched it. Was it last year we watched it together, or the year before? No, it didn't happen last year. No, did it happen last year? Yeah, it happened last year. Fuck, I can't remember.
Did we do both? I feel like but we also went to the Men's Origin. Now I'm getting mixed up.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember being at yours one year when Queensland won, and I was fucking fuming.
For the girls or the boys?
The girls.
Oh, well. Ali Brickenshaw.
Yeah.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah. Yeah, she's fucking good, eh?
She's a weapon.
Did she still play for Broncos?
Yes.
They're killing it, eh?
Oh, they lost today.
Oh, did they?
Oh, sorry if no one has seen it. They did. They lost.
Oh, this doesn't come out till Tuesday.
Oh, good point. Okay,
But in turn, like for women, sort of with Origin, they get their own standalone game. Would you like to see them have their own grand final?
Yeah.
Like their own day, grand final day, women's.
I think it'd be amazing.
Rather than as a curtain raiser, Like,
Yeah.
we get the women's, and then it's like, okay, on with the men's now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
How
I
it currently
think
is.
that having your standalone is where you get the money. It's where you get the revenue and everything like that from. If you play them before the boys, all of those tickets, all that revenue, it's for the boys. If you get a standalone, that's our income.
Yeah.
I say it like I'm a player. I'm not a player, but that is us as women in rugby league.
Yeah.
That's us. Like,
And
that's
I mean,
what we
I
need.
remember they did the women's origin at North Sydney Oval.
Yeah, we did go together. No.
No, not to the women. What? To the women's origin? We never did. We
Oh,
watched it
I went.
together.
I went to it.
We watched it together.
That was the first year.
the first year.
Yeah, I was there. It was a great
Yeah,
time.
North Sydney, and it was fucking like sold out.
Yeah, 10,000 people.
Yeah, and it sold out like heaps quick, and it's like people want to see this and this alone.
And the
People do.
tickets were very, very cheap. Very cheap.
That probably helped their cause, but
It was ridiculous how cheap they were.
really,
Yeah.
like how much they could have at least doubled it. Do you reckon?
Well, I think they could have doubled it, definitely. But Dad bought me 10 tickets. Yep.
Were they like $5 each or something?
I think they're only like 20 or 25. They were the first
Oh, $25.
each. I think the first year was very, very cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Dad gave me 10 for my birthday. So
yeah. It probably would have been pretty cheap.
it was really cheap.
Yeah, I think they could charge more now.
Yeah,
The
and they
game's
do now.
developed a lot.
Yeah, they do now.
The game's developed a lot more now. Where's it getting played at this year? I think it's getting played at Sunshine Coast or something.
I don't know, probably.
In Queensland. Fucking Queensland.
No, that's not fair.
Where do you see yourself? This is sort of an end of podcast question. Where do you see yourself? What's the dream? So first, actually, okay. Where do you see yourself in 2 years from now? We'll do it
2
like
years?
this. 2 years from now.
Graduated uni. I would like to be doing more of the sports science, exercise science side of things of football. So more into the S&C and the collecting data and stuff like that. I do enjoy being on-field trainer, definitely. And it's something I'll definitely always love doing, and I'll always do if I always get the opportunity. But if I can kind of, in that 2 years kind of thing after I graduate, come a bit more behind the scenes, collect the data, run the S&C side of things, keep up with the rehab. I think that's my goal really. But I want what we have at the boys, like their kind of program that they have. I want to run that for the girls. That's what I want my girls to have.
Yeah.
My girls.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
5 years. WNRL, definitely, hopefully. Hopefully for Penrith. And yeah, either on-field head trainer like I am now with Tasha Gale, or yeah, running the exercise science side of things behind the scenes, doing data, all of that. Having that exact same kind of professionalism and care for the athletes and stuff like that, and all that side of things. Having that for the girls as well as the boys, but having it 2 different programs. So run over there, run over here.
Yeah. And what is the ultimate goal / dream for you?
Ultimate is obviously to make first grade NRL. Definitely.
As head coach?
That'd be nice. Yeah, look, I've always said my biggest dream is to be the first female NRL coach. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. But definitely on the trainers side of things, like I said, S&C, collecting data, doing all of that. Yeah, NRL, WNRL, either way, I want to be top dog, like anyone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Do you think you'll feel you've failed if you don't reach those heights?
No, because to be honest with you, while absolutely I do really want to make it, and I do firmly believe, I'm not cocky, but I do firmly believe I will make it. But if I don't,
I think you got to believe like that.
I think you do. Hey,
100%.
yeah.
If you don't, that you've already failed.
Yeah. But I think if I don't make it, then I'm going to be proud of how far I've come anyway, because where I am now, when I started, never thought I'd be here. So and here I am. Like, there was a time where I dreamed about doing this and living my life the way I am now. So, you know, however far I do get, I think I'm always going to be proud, because while I do have those goals and I do have the ambitions and the dream to get higher and be top dog, every other little step that I've planned that I achieve is still breaking down a lot of barriers, and it's still fighting a lot of people and a lot of hard work and dedication and stuff like that I've been able to even get to that point. So if I don't make top dog, then I'm pretty happy with how far I hopefully would have gone then.
100%. Well, Sharna Noel, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Keep smashing those glass ceilings. Keep fucking smashing. Give those boys hell. And it's been an honour to watch this journey of yours.
Oh, stop it.
It has.
Thanks.
It honestly has. And remember, guys, speak free with Matty G.